Well, hello there, folks. I hope you're well. I really do. This is a re-recording of yesterday's video, which was day 5 of my Tenerife jaunts. If any have seen it, and there's only about 30 that had, and the following video about a certain hospital, I think only 18 had seen that, because they got posted late last night, I've had to take them down. The person within those videos that I seen 2 days ago actually asked me to take them down. She's got issues with the hospital she works at. She's seen things within the hospital that really upset her, that make her feel really uncomfortable. It involves awful treatment of patients, and she's trying to get something done about it. She doesn't want the reproductions of the things that happened with the Lucy Letby case. Not that it's children related, but it's plenty of patients, and they've been put in harm and in danger, and she's a one-woman crusade against it. I did tell her 2 days ago I had a small channel and was going to air it on here. She was happy with that. I thought it would help her. I actually bumped into her last night, which was really strange. We made a last minute decision to go somewhere where we wasn't going to go, and she happened to be in there. She looked totally different last night. I didn't recognise her at first. She'd got more sun on the back or on the front, and she'd done her hair differently, and I didn't realise it was her. But I mentioned, I put the video up, told her a couple of the comments within there. She said, oh no, take it down, I'm really worried it could go against me. I don't think it would have done. I think it would have aided the cause, but because she's worried and upset about it, I got in last night, and it was late last night. If I look worse than normal, it was a late one. It was 2:30 last night. God only knows how that happened. It was a really late one. But as I say, it was the anniversary, and we made the most of it. We really did. So I took it down before I went to Bobo's last night. So that's now gone, as is the one about the hospital. I'm going to mention the case further down on here, but I'm not going to mention the woman's name. I'm not going to mention the name of the hospital, so as not to cause her any grief or get in any trouble. Anyway, we'll go through the subjects we went through yesterday very quickly. As I said yesterday, there was very few newsworthy cases that I thought were worth airing on here. There was one sort of a current affairs thing, and the rest were sports-based again, but they were all only minor. So I started with the current affairs thing, which I'm going to do again. Then we'll go to the sport, and then I'll go to what I got up to 2 days ago, which was day 4. I do it on day 5's vlog. It's always what I did the previous day. So if you're interested in current affairs and not sport, jump out before the sport starts. If you're out with the sport, jump out when it ends. If you want to know what we got up to today, stay with us till the end. And that's it. I put 2 messages on it today. I'll do the same again. Thank you for everybody that stayed with us. I thought people would leave, not so much in drones, but I thought I'd lose subscribers. I normally do 6-7 messages a day. I've changed it to 1 a day here because of logistics and because of the coverage I'm able to see here, which isn't as much as I'd like on the various news channels. And I've actually gained subscribers, not on many, but I've gained some, and I'm really pleased about that. I thought with less videos, I thought people would leave. I think it's probably down to the content within the videos. I think people leave when they're unhappy with things that you say, or when you knock people that they like, and I'm knocking people all the time, as you know. That was one thing. The other thing was, I seen a quick video of somebody else's on YouTube yesterday, and they really stressed it more than ever, that at the end of every video, please give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You know, viewers, I never push for any of these things. You know I don't. You know, when I'm back home in the office, bedroom, I've got that little note on the wall, resubscribers and thumbs up and all that palaver, because I hate asking. But he did mention the more thumbs up or even thumbs down you get, the more YouTube pushes it to other people, so the more views you get, and ultimately, hopefully, the more subscribers. So after you've watched this, whether you like it or not, well, if you like it, thumbs up it, please. If you don't, thumbs down it. Obviously, I'll be gutted if you do, but that's just life. I might cry, but I won't cry on screen, I promise you that. You won't have to go through that with me. But if you like it, just give us a thumbs up. I think you can only do it on laptops, tablets, phones. You can't on TV, and I don't know where you watch. But if you can thumbs up it or thumbs down, I'd appreciate it. Right, strap yourselves in. Let's get right into it. Sarah Sharif. I need the bins on for these, and the writing was terrible today. I can barely read them now. I think it's Sarah Sharif. It is Sarah Sharif. That young girl, that young Asian girl that was killed, murdered, whatever it may have been, 2 or 3 weeks ago, down south. A dad has done a runner, along with a stepmother, along with his brother. They've gone over to Pakistan. We mentioned on day before, that they took advice off their Pakistani English-based lawyer who told them to do a runner. He said, if you stay over here, you're going to have problems because you're Muslim. They're going to be awful to you, the authorities. They're going to look down on your religion, and you'll lose your other 5 children, and they'll go to families of different religions, more than likely Jewish families, which is unbelievable. As I said at the time, I don't think there's a waiting list, a Jewish waiting list for Muslim children to as soon as they take them from the homes to go with Jewish couples. It's just more, is it hatred? I don't know what it is, but it's just crazy. Anyway, they did a runner a couple of days ago on TV. I seen it, I think before I came out, it might have been when I first got out. The BBC, I think, interviewed this guy's dad, which would be young Sarah's granddad. He said when they first came over to Pakistan, he's seen them. Then they had to go and hide somewhere. He doesn't know where, but he has been in contact with them. He's been asking them daily to give themselves up because they need to. It's causing all grief to the extended family. They're getting raided all the time. I watched him on the TV and I thought, every time he opens his mouth, I see a light coming out. I cannot believe a word this guy says. That's how I found him. You may or may have not, but I thought, I don't believe this guy. I really don't. He was making excuses for his son. He was saying the killing of his granddaughter was a massive accident. It wasn't meant. But as has been reported by the police, she had loads and loads of injuries unrelated to her death, historical injuries from weeks and months gone by. Whether it's been an accident or not, whether they've killed her or not, I think implicit in what's happened because the way they've treated her, it's been awful. Anyway, he said he didn't know where his son was, plus the son and the woman that's involved and the 5 children. Turns out, I think yesterday, it turns out the grandfather has been harbouring the 5 children, been hiding them all the time, which confirms my suspicions that nothing he says could be taken as gospel. You just could not, as I say, believe a word that came out of his mouth. For my money, when they catch these people that have done the runner, that have been complicit in this girl's death, be it just a death, an accident or a murder, I would hope not only would they try to extradite them and get them from Pakistan, I would hope that they could get the grandfather as well, but no doubt they won't be able to. No doubt he's going to get away scot-free for what he's done. Shocking, shocking, shocking. I do hope in time that this young girl gets some kind of justice. She'll never know it, but I hope she gets it. She deserves it, there's no doubt about that. Right, sport. Where did we go with sport? Jadon Sancho believe his relationship with Eric completely broken down and he should be on his way. Not a problem as far as I'm concerned. The more I read about the guy, the more I don't like him. Timekeeping and all issues like that are horrendous. They haven't got better as the years have gone on. He's no good. And on the pitch for me, he just hogs the ball too long. He does nothing with it. There's a player there, there's talent there, there's no doubt about it, but he doesn't reproduce it on the field. Paul Pogba, another an ex-Manchester United player. Turns out he's been caught in, is it Juve he plays for, in Italy, taking massive levels of testosterone. God, I slipped up there, didn't I? And I've got my new teeth in. So he's been banned, and I thought, well, anybody that we've paid 50, 60, 80 million pound for over the last 5 years, they've all been duds one way or another. So I thought to myself, why doesn't that surprise me that he's got caught doing something he shouldn't be? Pogba's the guy that played God knows how many matches for us in his second spin with us. It might have been 100, might have been 150, might have been 200. I don't know without researching, and I'm not bothered about researching, but I would suggest out of all those games, he played 5 or 6 absolutely fantastic games, 10 or 15 games that weren't too bad, and all the rest was dross. Dross? Crap anyway. I can say that easier than dross. It'd have been dross, wouldn't it? I got it wrong. I get loads wrong with it. That's the way I am, and you know I don't record, so it's not. Are these wonky? I'm liking it, Markham. Anyway, yeah, so he's been done. It doesn't surprise me. We never got anywhere near our money's worth out of him, as is the case with lots of others, Sancho included. Who else did we go to? We then went to a guy called Elliot Anderson. I think he plays for Newcastle as a young up-and-coming boy, 21 years of age, and Harvey Barnes. It turns out they've both played for Scotland, and is it Stephen Clark, the manager at Scotland, wants to carry on the relationship, but it looks like Gareth Southgate and his team are trying to tap them up and get them to play for England. Now this one amazed me, because I looked at it and it says Elliot Anderson, he's played for Scotland in under 16, under 17, under 18 level. He's then played for England under 19, And then Scotland under 21, and I'm thinking, how many bites of the cherry can you have until you have to pick a team? It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Harvey Barnes, I think he's played Scottish under 21. England are after him as well. Now, I can understand it, because playing for England has more prestige, and it does. It's a bigger league. It's known throughout world football. Scotland's is smaller. England as a team do better, get further in tournaments. We never win anything, but we do get further. We beat Scotland, was it only last night? I think, was it 3-1? I think it was. I didn't watch it, but I think it was. So I get it to an extent. But then I go back and I think to myself, Graham Souness, Kenny Dalglish, wonderful, wonderful Scottish players, Scottish through and through. If they'd had a chance to play for England, would they have taken it? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. And that's what we're talking here, folks. It's just different breeds of players. Times have changed. Things have changed. Players don't care where they came from or what they were or their birth parents or where they were brought up. They don't. It's just all about dosh. It's dosh, dosh, dosh. Money just rules everything, and it's a great shame. It really is. If I'm Scottish and I hear those players are thinking of England, I just want them gone. But although I want them gone, I'm gutted that they've gone, because the Scottish team hasn't got the talent pool that England have got, and they need everything they can get. And if they're young, great up-and-coming players, as a Scotsman, I know we need them. But I don't want them speaking to the English and thinking about going there. I just don't get it, look. I don't. I really don't. Gareth Southgate, big headlines. I am no fiddler. I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to read that. What's he been up to? Don't worry, folks. What he meant is he won't fiddle with his team. In fact, I still don't mean that. He won't chop and change the players. There's no fiddling with nobody. No fiddling has gone on here, folks. Absolutely no fiddling. Kiddie-wise or otherwise. Gareth Southgate, I can't even say it, isn't a fiddler of any kind. But he's saying he won't fiddle and chop and change with his team to suit outside influences. And I think that's probably about right. And that really was it. I've had a pal of mine on my USA rugby league lover, lovely fella. He mentioned the various accents that we all have and the way I say a couple of words, and I think the words end in G, and he's hearing the K sound. I never knew it. I can't remember what they were, so I wrote them down. I replied to him, but I can't remember what words they were. So I can't reply on here to it. But all I will say is, I've worked with people from only 20 miles away from myself, and I think, where have you got those words from? It's the same with the old Scousers. I'm in between Manchester and Liverpool. I can't hear any hint of Scouse in my voice, but some people can. We're all different, we all have different ears, but I worked with someone from Bury when I was 21, 22. Now I call it Bury, spelled B-U-R-Y. They call it Bury. I speak about buses, a bus, B-U-S. They call it a buzz, with the Z on there, buzz. And I think, buzz? Where's that come from? But they do, folks. It's weird. We're all different, but I like that. That's what makes us good, doesn't it? Right, what did I get up to day before yesterday? Right, we went back to the Calypso Bar, a place I like. They have lots of afternoon acts. We went to see Keith George, who is a Boy George impersonator. I mentioned on here about, how long ago now? About 2 months ago? Maybe a bit less. I think he's a better Boy George than Boy George. I think he sounds better than Boy George now. He was doing a different show 2 days ago. On the show 2 days ago, what was he doing? He was doing like more rock and roll and a few classics. It was just an easiest gig. Somebody told us he's worth watching and he's good, and we enjoyed it. Not as good as his Boy George thing, but we enjoyed it. I think we enjoyed it because we liked him. He comes across as a really, really nice guy. Anyway, we had an afternoon in there and it was great. This is where I met this person. I'll say lady, I won't say anything more. She lives in Great Britain, I won't say where. I know her name, I won't say what it is. I don't want to get in any trouble, but she was on both of the videos yesterday that I've taken down. She works in a hospital. As I say, she's seen lots and lots and lots that she probably shouldn't have seen. Lots that she believes is going on behind the scenes that shouldn't be. She's taken it to her bosses on more than one occasion, and they're throwing it back in her face. They're saying, we don't believe you. We don't think it's happening. We'd rather you not keep telling us these things and basically just go away. And I think they've also, I think I might be wrong here, but I don't think I am. I think they've threatened her with an early dismissal, like many of the bigwigs did. To doctors, high-profile doctors, that were telling them about things to do with Lucy Letby. They were saying they didn't believe it happened. They didn't want to know any more about it. They wanted these doctors to go and apologise to Lucy Letby because of the rumours. And they also threatened doctors with dismissal. Exactly the same thing. And in that time that they didn't investigate, more and more young babies were killed. This person isn't working with babies, it's an older crowd, but things are happening there, and this person thinks they're being abused. As I say, this person told it me the other day. She got really upset while telling me her story. I was upset for her, and the other half was as well. It was a great shame, it really, really was. And as I say, I had it on here. A few have seen it, I've taken it down now. It's back on here now, but we're not going to mention her name, where she lives, or the hospital name. But I do hope, Lovey, if you watch this video, I do hope that you get things sorted. I do hope that people ultimately listen to you, and I do hope you can save others from going through what must be an absolute hell for them in your hospital at this moment in time. I really do. And that, folks, is about it. Yeah, I think that's about it, is it? I'll tell you a quick one that happened yesterday, just a quick story. I'm out there with the old wife, the old trouble and strife, and as I said to many of you, it was our anniversary today. It was many, many a year. I think we've been together about 70, 75 years now. It's been a long time. It's been like a prison sentence. Well, it's been like 2. But I put up with it, folks, because I think that's what you've got to do once you're in a marriage. You've just got to put up with it. Anyway, we did a long walk yesterday from Los Chris all the way back here to Adeki. And we're walking back and we see a temperature. I've been saying to other half, it's warm here. It's really warm. And she sees the temperature. She said, oh, aye, it's 35. I can take them off now, nothing to read. It's 35. And I said, I knew it was hot. I just knew it was the hot one. I said to her, I bet you don't know what that is, do you? She said, yeah. I said, you don't? Go on, what is it? About 120. I said, 120? 35? It's 98, woman. I said, what school did you go? Now, as it turns out, she went to the same school as me, although she was a good couple of years below me, 4 to be exact. And I thought to myself, was she not listening when they did maths there? Or, well, temperature's not maths, but you know what you've got to do to add them up, don't you? I thought, unbelievable. And then as we're walking out to this bar, we goes in this bar where we had a really good hour, well, less than that, we only had one drink. Nice fella, nice Irish fella. And we said we'd go back there, our friends are coming on Thursday. It's a little bar, but it's a karaoke bar. They love the old karaoke. That's Paul and old Leader. That's his wife. She's called Margaret, but I call her Leader. They're coming on Thursday. They won't be leading me around, but she leads the wife around like I can't tell you. No, it's not quite that bad. Anyway, they're coming Thursday, and we said, we'll come here one night while they're here. And as we come out the bar, I've not clocked the name, and I'll clock it in the end. And I said, it's off the beaten track. The taxi won't find this. And the other half said, wait a minute, it's near. We can get it to drop us off near Wackaday. Wackaday, I said. What's Wackaday? That bar over there. I said, love it. I said, Timmy Mallet hasn't got his own bar over here, that's for certain. It's not going to be called Wackaday. She said, it is. We get closer to it, it's called Wakanda. I said, what are you doing? I said, you're doing me head in, honestly. She said, hey, all you're doing, it's our anniversary. You're always talking behind me back, pushing me around and talking behind me back. You need to stop it, it's our anniversary. I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm pushing you in a wheelchair. I'm going to be talking behind your back and pushing you around. What else would you expect? That was just a joke. She's not really in a wheelchair. No, she's not at all. I thought it was funny. I aired it yesterday, but I've took it down. I've just re-aired it for those that didn't watch it today, that are going to watch today. And that, folks, was probably yesterday's message in its entirety. Not word for word, and it was mushed about a little bit, but they were the things I discussed. I do hope anybody that's seen yesterday's video, that sees this, forgets what they seen. In that I don't want this young lady to get in any trouble for things she told me with the hospital where she works. I really, really don't. Although I do hope she has some success with what she's doing against the hospital and with the reports that she has made. I really do. We don't want more patients to suffer at the hands of incompetent nurses or doctors or whatever it may be. Let's hope she gets things sorted. And that, folks, is it. I'm going to download this now. They take a good while to download. I think they take longer when you're in Spain, and I don't know why. and then I'm going to do day 6. It'll be out later today. It could be any time from about 4 till 7 o'clock, but it will be out later. I hope you'd enjoy, and thank you very, very much for watching. It's much appreciated, it really is. Thank you, one and all.